right. Well, welcome. Make sure to say hi. Tell us where you're watching from. We're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining us. This week, our theme is entrepreneurship. So, all of our viewers that hopped on, can anyone please comment? What is an entrepreneur? What does that mean to be an entrepreneur? Maybe some of your parents are an entrepreneur. Maybe you are. Anyone have a comment of what an entrepreneur is while we get more friends joining us? Anyone want to take a guess at what being an entrepreneur means? I know you guys know it. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. Yeah?
Aiden said making your own business.
Aiden, thank you so much for commenting. It's so nice to have people talk with me. It is making your own business. So there are so many things you can do with your life and your career. You can work for a company, you can create your own company, and that's what we're talking about today, how you can change the world by being your own boss, by creating your own business. So we're going to talk about what makes an entrepreneur. Now I work for Junior Achievement, but years ago I was a classroom teacher, and when I was done teaching in the classroom, I became an entrepreneur. I actually ran several different businesses. One of the businesses I started is I taught families how to teach their babies sign language. And so I ran a business for about 5 or 6 years doing that. And then I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I created a different business. I had a preschool in my home, so I ran a preschool. So I'll kind of talk about that. Are any of your parents entrepreneurs? Do any of your parents run their own businesses? Feel free to let us know. There are 4 characteristics that really make a successful entrepreneur. So if you're thinking, I might be interested in running my own business, either now, as a kid you can do that, or as an adult, I want to go through some things that would make it a little easier to be successful. So come on over here, and I'm going to go through some characteristics of being a successful entrepreneur. Feel free to make comments. I've been asking questions if you know of an entrepreneur, if your parents run their own business. So, we have a few saying yeah.
Mackenzie said her dad, and then Elle said her parents have a construction company.
Ooh, that's great. So they are good resources to learn about being entrepreneurs. Well, you'll have to think about your parents, keep them in mind, and see if they have some of these characteristics. But these are some well-known characteristics to make a good entrepreneur. So the first one you can see, it says fill a need. Know the market need and your potential competitors. So let's say you wanted to create, let's just use that construction company example. Know what your market, what your area needs. Are there a lot of construction companies? Are there not very many? Know who's your competitors. So that's something really important. The second characteristic of being a successful entrepreneur is know your customer and product. So have expert knowledge of both customer and the product. So for example, when I started my preschool, my background is teaching. So I really knew the customer, I knew those families, and I knew how to teach. So that really it was really helpful knowing my customer and the product. I knew what those families needed. All right, the third characteristic is be creative and innovative. So it's important to think outside the box. Look for new and different solutions to needs that have been identified. A lot of times great businesses come from a really simple idea that someone was just creative and thought, I could do something different and better. So that think outside the box is really important. The fourth characteristic of a successful entrepreneur is believe in yourself. Identify your likes, skills, and abilities and work to improve them. So if you're really knowledgeable in an area and you want to learn more, maybe go to school, go to a workshop, do some sort of training or program to increase your skills to make you an expert in your field. So those are 4 characteristics you can keep in mind. It's really important to have those in mind when you're thinking about, maybe I want to be an entrepreneur now or in the future. I want to read some examples of some successful entrepreneurs that you might be familiar with. How many of you have ever watched the show The Cake Boss? You guys seen that show? Well, Buddy Valastro, he's the owner of The Cake Boss. It says at an early age, star of the reality show Cake Boss showed a talent for decorating cakes. He learned his skills from his father, an old world master baker. Today, he operates Carlos's Bakery, a fourth-generation family-owned business in Hoboken, New Jersey. His business employs many bakers, cake decorators, and support staff. Velastro works hard and knows his product and business well. Traits of a successful entrepreneur. Have any of you seen Cake Boss? Yeah, we have some yeses. Great. So some other information about him is, despite my TV celebrity, he says, I greet many of my customers, and his reality TV show is filmed in his family business, so it's right there. So that's one example, and like it said, he knows his product and his business well, so that helps him be successful. So there's the Cake Boss. Let me tell you about Maxine Clark, Build-A-Bear Workshop. Have any of you ever been to a Build-A-Bear store in the mall? I bet you have. So a successful executive, Maxine Clark, left her job to start Build-A-Bear Workshop in 1997. In her stores, children design, stuff, and dress their own teddy bears and other stuffed animals. Children are her inspiration. In her own words, kids are worth listening to, and their opinions are important. You never know how a child's words might inspire you. Early success with Build-A-Bear Workshop stores helped attract more than $11 million in venture capital. That's a lot of money. Today, there are hundreds of Build-A-Bear Workshop stores worldwide and more than 70 million child-made stuffed toys. So that was her idea, and she created it into this huge business. It's okay if it's a small business, if it's a huge business, and somewhere in the middle. So let me read on the back here. I have some more facts about Maxine. Her company was born with an idea of helping a 10-year-old make her own stuffed toy. So she had an idea out of the box, and there she went. So let's see. So found in many shopping malls across the country, her workshop attracts children who come to name and assemble their one-of-a-kind personal keepsakes. Have we had people go to Build-A-Bear? Yep, we have lots of yeses. Great. So this started with her idea. She is a successful entrepreneur. I have one more. Who has heard of Tony Hawk? I bet there's several of you who've heard of Tony Hawk. Let me tell you a little bit about him. Tony Hawk's family never predicted that he would make a living as a skateboarder, but they knew he had the determination to be the best at whatever field he chose. Hawk retired from competitive skateboarding at age 31, but he still skates every day for his own enjoyment. His company covers all aspects of the sport, from clothes to skate tours to the Tony Hawk Foundation, which builds skate parks in low-income areas. So a passion of his, an interest, and a hobby, and then a skill turned into this business. So let me read the back. There's some more facts for you guys. He says, my life changed forever when my older brother gave me an old fiberglass banana board to try out. At 14, I turned pro in my sport. I became the first in my sport to successfully land a 900 aerial maneuver. Does anyone know what a aerial maneuver is? And lastly, my company Birdhouse is one of the largest companies of its kind. It sells decks, wheels, and its own clothing line. So, that's a little bit about Tony Hawk. Do you guys know about him? Yeah, we have some people. Yes, yes. Any skateboarders out there that can tell me what a 900 aerial maneuver is? You can let us know. Remember, every time you comment or you have a question or say something, we'll enter you into our raffle. All right, so I gave you some information. I shared some successful entrepreneurs. I want you to take a look at this poster. It's just kind of a reminder of what makes a successful entrepreneur. So the first one is fill a need. So here's an example, a math tutor. So there's students, look at their grades, D+, F, C. So there's a need. These kids need some help. So their tutoring is a great job to create. The second thing to think about, know your customer and product. Repairs while you wait. So here's some skateboarders. They need to get their product fixed right away. So that's pretty smart. The third component, be creative and innovative. What is this job right here? Lawn mowing service. Not your typical lawnmower. That is pretty creative. And the last thing to keep in mind to be successful is believe in yourself. Be confident in your skills and really work to be the very best in your field. So those are some reminders. Now I'm going to show you a quick video of a student entrepreneur. We're going to come on out to the big screen You can find these videos if you go to jaaz.org under resources. In our Instagram program, you can click on this link. There are quite a few videos of student entrepreneurs. We're just going to watch one, so here we go. All right.
I have a pet sitting company called Becky's Pet Sitting Service. I had the idea when I was 7, but it really didn't set into action until I was in 5th grade when we went to the Exchange City at Junior Achievement. It helped a lot with Junior Achievement because it helped me understand that organization is a big part of it, and you should know what you're doing with different techniques and everything before you get started.
She knew she wanted to do something with pets, and so we told her that she could watch some of our neighbors' animals, and then from there she went to Exchange City and learned about how to actually have your own business. So she named it and started to market it, and it took off.
I like it because it makes me feel proud of myself. It makes me feel like I can do anything that I want to do with my life, and it makes me feel like I'm closer to the animals, which I really love.
She does what she does because she likes to. She loves what she's doing. And if you love what you're doing, it's not work. You can hardly wait to get to it.
Some advice that I would give to someone starting their own company would be have the support of your family and to have the interest in what you're doing.
Junior Achievement's just been a really great source of inspiration for Becky. I think that's another reason why she's continued on. It brought her classroom studies to life. And I think that's the biggest gift that they gave her.
Basically, I do everything. I feed them, I can walk them, I can give them baths, I can play with them. During the summer is my busiest period, so normally we have at least 7 to 8 clients at the same time. Yes, we've had a few disasters where they peed on the new rug, or they go and they dive into the swimming pool and clog up the drains in the pool or something, so we've had a lot of problems with that.
Since we started as clients of Becky, we've acquired more pets. She doesn't just dog sit. She has taken care of hermit crabs, goldfish, guinea pigs.
She does a great job. It goes beyond just feeding and letting the dogs out, which anyone could do, but we really appreciate it because they take our 2 dogs into their home and treat them as if they're their own pet.
Actually, I'd like to become a veterinarian so I could start my own veterinary practice. But if I don't do that, then a pet sitting job would also be a really good thing to do. I give 1/3 of my profits to the Arizona Animal Welfare League, where they use the money wherever they would like to.
Becky's always been the kind of child to give back. So as soon as she found out about the Arizona Animal Welfare League and how they didn't kill the animals, that just instilled more passion in her.
It helps yourself build more confidence because you're helping others while making yourself feel more comfortable. I'd like to expand it so that it can reach from Scottsdale to Tucson or something, so that other kids can have a chance to have a pet sitting business too. It's such a good experience and it's so much fun that once you get started, you don't want to stop.
All right, we'll turn that off. She was a great example of an entrepreneur, and you can find on the link that I mentioned earlier on our jaaz.org resources page, go to our Instagram schedule, and you can find there's probably 5 or 6 more videos you can watch about student entrepreneurs. I think it's really interesting to see what kids come up with and what they do to create their own businesses. So tomorrow we'll be talking more about being an entrepreneur. We have a different activity to do. We'll have a guest student helping us walk through creating a business. And we're so glad you were here. If you are an entrepreneur, if you have an idea you want to share with us, please feel free. We'd love to see your comments. And just as a reminder, the great resources we have online. Also today we are talking about the 4 components of being a successful entrepreneur. Fill a need, know your customer and product, be creative and innovative, and believe in yourself. So thanks everyone for joining us. Do we have any comments before we say goodbye? All right, we can't wait to hear your ideas. See you tomorrow.